We begin our journey to Easter at Northwest Christian Church by looking at some of the most iconic moments in Jesus' last week on this earth. Moments that capture who he is and his impact today. Now, there are iconic moments throughout all of history. Martin Luther King Jr. in his I Have a Dream speech. Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. George Prochta, right, founding Burgerville and the special sauce. So there's some other iconic moments in sports. Do you believe in miracles? USA beating Russia. All these iconic moments, though, in history pale in comparison to the iconic moments that we're going to look at as we move towards Easter. This week, it's the cup. So the time, it's Thursday, and Jesus is going to celebrate the Passover in the upper room with his closest friends. After his time in the upper room with Jesus' friends, he's going to be arrested. He's going to be beaten, tortured. Finally, he's going to be executed by crucifixion on the cross. Now, if you know this, how are you spending your last moments before you die? Well, Jesus spends it washing feet. I wouldn't do that even if I had only a few days left. On the same night, though, Jesus has this iconic moment when he has what's referred to as the Last Supper. Again, this is the last time that Jesus will have this meal before the cross with his friends. It's around a table that Jesus introduces Holy Communion, or the Lord's Supper. It's Jesus who introduces this sacrament, and he tells us, do this in remembrance of me. So Jesus says, I want you to remember that it's my body, it's my blood that's given for you. This is communion, and it really is a beautiful story, isn't it? Jesus is the host at the only table that he's ever had, and he offers us the only thing in his poverty that he has to offer, and that's himself. And so Jesus invites you and he invites me to remember not our guilt, not our failure, not our shortcomings. He invites you and he invites me to remember his grace. He says, it's my grace. Remember my mercy. Remember my compassion. We are to remember that we're forgiven. So our posture is, Lord, as we come to this table, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. So for everybody who knows Jesus, doesn't matter whether you're part of this church or not, if you know and you follow Jesus, then this is the Lord's table. Again, it's not our table. And so we come to remember each weekend at Northwest Christian Church, we remember what Jesus asked us to remember. And I just love the sacrament of communion. Again, because it's a reminder that our sins are forgiven, our salvation is secure, grace is available for all of us. So maybe this week, spend some time focusing in on this. Maybe even have a time of communion today by yourself or maybe with your family. Have a great week.